Hey y'all, this is Princess Diana. I'm driving and recording today to get to my appointment that I have today. And I didn't mount my phone, so y'all excuse me, y'all gonna be down here looking. Y'all gonna be down here. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about something that it blows my mind. So, and this is for the ladies. And I'm pretty sure men have this thing about them that needs to, like, their, I want to call it emotional attraction. Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, I want to call it emotional attraction. Like, what you're attracted to as you get, and what I mean by that is as you get older. Like, when I was in middle school and in high school, what I was attracted to, like, as far as the boys, oh, they're cute. Or some guy on TV that was like a movie star or whatever, what you call it. I guess they call them movie stars back then. Somebody famous that, was a cute guy or man back then. I was like, oh, you had a little crush on people and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then as I get older, yes, those people might have been, some of those people were not even attractive. When I look back, I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? But I was attracted to certain, like, some girls, the good girl was attracted to the bad boy. Or all the women were attracted to the bad, not all of them. Some women were attracted to the bad boys and different things like that. But as you mature, in my head, I'm like, okay, that was fun and games back then. But it's like, honey, when you get in your 30s, it really should be late 20s, to be honest. But I would say in certain communities, they're not, in cultures, they're not preaching that to the young ladies. And I'm not getting on the men because I'm pretty sure there's a thing. I know there's a thing with that too, but I'm a man. So I'm not going to necessarily speak on that today. I probably could, like, how can I say, like, if I'm saying something to men about men, then it's only from my point of view of what I've seen from other men that I consider decent guys. Like, they do decent stuff in life as far as my eyes can see and as far as others have seen. Like, their credibility is really good in their community, their family. They just, hey, they shine, right? What was I gonna say? So, yeah, the women still liking, or even have, first off, you liking the thug guy back in the day. That was the thing they put in our face all the time. The thug guy, the bad guy, or whatever you want to say, the wild guy. They put that in our face all the time. But I'll tell you what, I used to watch shows like, okay, some of them shows did give really good examples. So, like, Family Matters. Family Matters was a good one. What's it? Sister. What else? I'm trying to think. It's another one. Oh, The Cosby Show, right? Most people think, okay, of course, if we say I like Family Matters because The Cosby Show was a little too much goody two-shoe family, right? It was like almost, they weren't perfect, but they were almost perfect. Okay, so we don't want to look at the Cosby's, want to look at more so the Family Matters, or Sister, because that's more realistic to most people's lives, even though it's not. If that makes sense. Trying to see what store I want to go to. I think I'm gonna go to Walmart or Target. Okay, but anyway, so about the bad boy situation. So there was one episode of Sister, right? Sister, I think they ended up liking this bad boy, right? He was cute and whatnot. Had a crush on him, all that. And I think Tia or Tamara was the one that had the mom. She grew up with the mom, right? And they stayed in the hood, a rough neighborhood and stuff like that. And one of their old friends, the son was her friend growing up, and the mom, that was her best friend, the mom of the guy. He comes back, he's a teenager, he's cute, to them or whatever. They're like, oh man, like, look at this dude. And she's like, who, my homeboy, you know? And so Tia's like, yeah, like, I think he's so sick. I mean, he's so cute or whatever. He's fine. And so that's what we used to call guys when they were really, you know, look nice. And she was like, man, you know, he was, you know, spitting that, you know, the gang tour, you know, I don't know what y'all call it now. He was talking that talk and, you know, and Tia was feeling him. And she, you know, I can't remember. I think he was trying to eventually, she just liked the whole bad boy persona. She was like, ooh, I just like him. You know, she's a good girl. Well, even though Tia was super goofy, but she had a good dad that had standards for her. Okay. So, but even Tia as a young girl, she found out, because she was also, see, this is a little different because most people can't relate to this if they lost their, you know, their virginity, you know, in their teens. So, but anyways, the guy was pressing up on her, you know, trying to get at her, you know, and get him some. And I can't remember if they were in a bedroom or in the bathroom. Whatever. But, you know, they had been hanging out for like a few weeks because it was like over the summer. And he was like, man, girl, I've been doing all this stuff for you and all this stuff, man, come on, you know. And then she kicked him. She's like, no, you know, like, I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to do this or that, you know, because she had those standards for herself. She didn't let him pressure her, which is great. Some women, or some girls, I'm saying that, some girls fall for it, and it's okay. You fell for it, whatever, move on. But we want to mature from that point on, right? And everybody matures at different stages in their life. That's why I try not to judge people, but honey, at this point, we can do better. Like, if you're in your 30s and your 40s, I'll give you 34. If you're in certain cultures, like I say, especially when they don't beat in your head. And plus, women usually, and sometimes lead with their with their heart when they like somebody a lot. Like, they'll lead with their heart. They'll mix lust with love, or, you know, confuse it. But anyway, so what was I gonna say? So, you know, Tamara, or was it? No, Tia. Was it Tia? Oh yeah, so Tia, she found out, hey, I'm not really into. I'm trying to remember today. Has she ever been? I don't think she was ever with another bad guy. I don't think she ever was. I think that was it. And she matured from that point on, as far as the quality of guy that she would consider to be in her life as a teenager. Smart girl. But this is a sitcom. They make better decisions, it seems like, on the sitcoms. But anyways, y'all, and then Family Matters. I remember when Laura, I thought she was so pretty and all that. It's just a sophisticated young lady. Like, Laura was so sophisticated, even as a preteen, like as a teenager, I'm gonna say. And when she was in high school, she was stylish, everything, right? Just a young, beautiful, sophisticated young lady, and knew how to carry herself. She knew how to, you know, be cute, be a little bit sexy, you know what I'm saying, without being over sexualized. And that's awesome. You gotta learn how to, women, you can still be sexy, but you gotta learn how to give a little and not give it all. You know what I'm saying? Laura was very good at that, her character, right? What was I gonna say? So Laura, she did date she'd been out on her, I don't think she's been out with a lot of bad guys. I think for sure, her best friend, she was out with a dude that was like selling major weight, if y'all know what I mean. It was an older guy. First off, he was older, and I think they might have been 18, so she was legal. But Laura was like, no, because see, Laura had a good dad, and even though Eddie was a player and everything like that, he still loved his sister, and he wouldn't tell her nothing bad. When it come to men, like, if you got men in your family, they might not be all that, like, they might not be the best, but if they actually love and care about you, they will let you know when some guy is not worth, you know what I'm saying, ain't worth a dang. Like, they're not good to be with. They gonna let you know. and you can hate them for it, but they just gonna let you know, I don't like it. Hey, you don't need to be around. If they say you don't need to hang out with him, you don't need to be around him. That's what my cousin used to say. And I'd be like, why? I thought they were just being mean. But now, not now, but like in my 30s, when I look back, I was like, oh my God, I see why. Because this guy was horrible. This guy was all these things, and then I'm finding out from a friend how this person was. And some of the guys that hung around that person, they were not good guys. They didn't make good decisions. I'm going to say they were very handsy. And some girls, if they felt like she was a weaker girl that had no kind of male protection, they would, quote unquote, take advantage of her. And that happened to one of my friends. She passed away recently, but she told me, we've talked about a lot of different things. She told me that group of guys and my cousin then was like, hey, stay away from my cousin. I don't know what they did in their past. I don't know what they did. We don't know what people in our family that love us, that protect us, our men, we don't know what they've done. Maybe it was a one-time thing. We don't know what they done. But we need to make good decisions, the best decisions we can for ourselves. Anyways, I might get on that another time. But anyways, so Laura, like I said, the only guy I can think of, every bad guy who tried to talk to her, and she had some cute little bad guys who tried to talk to her. When I say bad, like the bad boy, try to talk to her and stuff like that. And the thug look, look back at the 90s and see what the thug look, the quote unquote thug look attire was like, the hip hop attire, the rap or whatever, the what they call it, gangster rap attire. See what that was, and then you'll know what I mean. Pants sagging, big baggy, the clothes were big, okay? Yeah. But anyways, yeah, all those guys would try to talk to Laura because she was beautiful. But Laura's like, nah, you ain't my type. Laura just be up front, she be like, you ain't my type, Like, we ain't got nothing in common, so, I'm not gonna waste your time, don't waste mine. She was like that, and I was like, wow, like, I just thought Family Matters was a funny show, a good show, but I didn't, as you get older, when you look back at that stuff, I'm like, wow, like, this was a really good example. Even though some moments are goofy, but it was a great example of how a young lady, Laura was a great example of how a young lady should handle herself. A very great example. I'm trying to think and her friend, what was her name? She was cute. She was a little lighter skinned. I can't remember her name. Black girl. I can't think of her name. But I thought she was cute too. Or pretty. But she didn't have the guidance that Laura had. And Laura saved her life from that guy that he was I don't know if he was a gangster. He was really, he was like a kingpin almost or something, because he was like flashy, giving her all these expensive gifts and stuff. Y'all, hold on. Yeah, he was buying her all this stuff. But I'm just saying, so, and I'm gonna be on for probably another 5 minutes, and I gotta go. As a grown woman, what is it with some women? You look decent or nice, and you have a decent or really nice, successful career, and you still want a quote unquote a thug or a no good type of guy, a bad guy. We are too grown to be wanting somebody who ain't no good for us. Like, to me, I'm confused. Please ask yourself, you look crazy trying to be with a bad guy. Why wouldn't you want somebody good? Because most of the women at this stage, either they don't have kids, but they might be a great aunt to somebody. I work with some women there. They might not have the kids. They're older. They're probably my age, but they are great aunts. So these kids are looking up to auntie so and so. Be a good aunt. Be a good example to your nieces and nephews. Don't let your nephews see you be with a guy that sucks and no good for you, and just it's embarrassing. And they like, dang, like they losing respect for you. Like, dang, auntie just made the worst decision when it come to men. You know, letting them live off of you. They not helping you when you need help. When you got emergency situations, you just on your own. You can't call on nobody, but you dealing with this guy, and you're, letting him sleep with you and stuff like that. That is no. You know, that's a definite no. Have some standards for yourself and know that you're worthy. You're worth it. You gotta be worth it, y'all. Make sure you're worth it. And if you don't know if you're worth it, if you want better, chill out. Maybe go seek some professional guidance and help. From a counselor or a adult counselor or a therapist or something like that. Somebody that has good ethics and principles. They follow them. But yeah, I want y'all to get it together, because, and I'm saying all this because a family member I talked about a while ago in a video that had she had to protect herself. And when I say she had to protect herself, she had to protect herself, and she used a gun. I'm gonna say that. And the person ended up passing away. So what is it? Self-defense. She got off on self-defense because it really was self-defense. But come to find out, that person, that young lady, was with somebody who had been to prison. So I don't know if she met him while he was in prison or before. Anyways, the guy was he was into the the rougher lifestyle, I guess you can say. And it's like, what in the world? You know what I mean? Like, what? When I heard that, I was like, oh, what in the world? Like, you're asking for it. I'm not saying that every guy that's going, every guy that's gone to prison are the only bad guys. They're not the only ones. As men, like, that care about you, if you don't have a man that care about you, I want you to care about yourself. I want you to find men online that are married, been married for years. Do research on them. Make sure they have been married to this woman for years. You can't find no dirt on him. And then listen to the things that they say. Is it consistent with their lifestyle choices and stuff? Are they following what they preach, if that makes sense? They're practicing what they're preaching. But it's best if you can find somebody that is, especially if you got, most women have at least somebody, I would think, but maybe I'm wrong, that a man that actually cares about them enough, that will be honest with them. And it's probably not going to be the person that you're sleeping with or that wants to sleep with you. So, a family member or something, yeah, they can give you good advice, real advice. Don't let it hurt your feelings. Let them be like, hey, be as honest as you can. Like, don't try to make me bawl out and cry, but be honest. Like, really give me your honest opinion. Let me know as a man, what could I do, or what should I look for in a good man, or whatever. And this person that you talk to, long as they're not a sleaze, like they're not a, I don't know what y'all call them, we call it F boy. Y'all are funny these days, a F boy or whatever. I wouldn't take advice for them, but somebody, okay, even like some of my cousins are players, but they know they might be a player, but they might not be. They're, put it like this, they are responsible and they handle their business in life, but they just might not be the best guy to be in a relationship with at this time. I'll say this, but they care about me, and they care about me to love me, and never mistreated me, and always protected me and the women in my family. So I can trust them enough to be like, they gonna let me know. Look, they might not have said it in great detail, but they'll let me know now that we got, like, look, oh yeah, that man, he good. Like, that's how men talk. They be like, oh yeah, that man, he's good. He cool. He upstanding guy. Yeah, he cool. Like, yeah, that man, yeah, he actually a good dude, man. You know, like that kind of stuff. That's how you know, like, that guy's actually a good guy. Might actually be a good guy. They can't tell you if the person is gonna be the best fit for you, but they can let you know. As far as I know, as far as I have seen from other guys that suck, that are bad dudes compared to them and us, they a good dude. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all please do better because you and don't please. I mean, it's up to you, but please don't be letting these guys that just got out. I don't want to say that because I'm not saying somebody could be reformed, but it's probably gonna be such a small percentage of the prison population, honey, or jail population. And talk. I want you to talk to people who worked in the jail before, men that worked in the jail before that are quote unquote somewhat decent guys that are just straight up and let you know what be going on in prison and jail and how some people keep on coming back, keep on coming back, keep on coming back. And I know personally a family member that is a male. They keep going back to prison, and they always have a certain amount of girls on deck paying bail. Not bail. They probably will pay some bail too if they can get him off, but he does years at a time. That pay on his what is on the put money on the book. I haven't ever done that, and thank God that ain't it. Don't be putting no money on no man books. You got to take care of yourself and if you got kids, okay. Unless it's your husband, I'll say this, unless it's like your husband that was the best provider in the world, he wasn't in a life of crime, you know that for sure, for a fact, you've done so much research, you talked to lawyers, he was not into no kind of criminal lifestyle. Something happened to him where it was a situation that was racially profiled or something, like, I'm just using that for example. Then okay, wrongfully accused, like seriously, that. Then okay, then maybe you can put money on him book. He was so great. But most men that are masculine, I'm saying it's like I know a lot of men that's been like, I do know a few men, I ain't gonna lie, because I went to a rough school and stuff, and I know various amount of people, some on the high financial end and some on the lower financial end, family wise too. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something and it left me, but I need to get off this phone. I hope that makes sense to y'all ladies. But what should I call this? Don't settle for the worst, or something. I don't know. It could be dangerous, man. It really can be dangerous. Like, really, you can't just hook up with anybody. You can't just be in a relationship with anybody. You can, but if you do that, it can be detrimental. Okay. Whew. All right, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's Princess Diana. Like, comment, and subscribe.